Bloodstone. We are back with this beautiful rock, which we left in huge chunks. We've got a bunch of variety of sizes here, and it's been running for 1 week in 60/90 coarse grit with no ceramic media. We started this last week, so it's only been 1 week. And this is the progress we've had in 1 week. I mean, look at this. This is a huge honker of a stone. And obviously they need a ton more work. But it's beautiful. Got these great big chunks. We got lots of chipping in here. Which was what we expect after 1 week with no ceramic media. I mean, you can see all the different angles and whatnot. Oh my gosh, look at how huge that one is. It's beautiful. Just gorgeous. Looks like paint splotches. Ow, that's a little tiny sharp piece of stone, and that's too small even for the chips. So what we're going to do this very first week is we are going to look for any chips that are sticking to the sides. We are going to look for anything that's going to be a big problem in the future. And I think like this right here is going to be a big problem. These are going to be grit catchers. I'm hoping it gets smoothed down while it's in the coarse grit. I did not want to break those big pieces down. I just didn't. See, like this is a smaller piece and it's coming along a lot quicker. Yeah. Not finding anything stuck. This is going to be a problem right here. Kind of see the way that it's shaped. So we can see from week to week how, you know, the coarse grit will mold and shape these stones. I don't know what it's going to do with that great big divot. You know, that looks like I could just hit it with a hammer and crack it. I might just do that. Because it really looks like that piece is just going to come off. The integrity of the stone is what we're also looking at. You know, see what's gonna cause some issues. Wow. Look at this. Isn't that neat? And this was in the bag from the vendor. I think it was just covered in so much stuff we couldn't see it. There's several of these little pieces. It's all part of the bloodstone. Having such large pieces, we're gonna have to keep this in a bigger barrel. So we're using a 6-pound barrel. They'll just seize everything up in a smaller one. So this was 5 pounds of stone. See, like this is going to be a problem. See how deep that is? How in the world is that ever going to get smoothed? But we're going to find out. And because these pieces are still so incredibly rough, I don't think I'm going to put ceramic media in it this week either. Oh, look at that piece of quartz coming out. It's almost like it's the heart in the stone. That is cool. Super cool. So these are big chips that came off. I think I'm going to let it run one more week. No ceramic media. Let it bang the hell out of each other. And see how much more shaping happens. And if it will break off any pieces. Like this completely broke off of another piece. And you can see the edge. Really cool. Okay, so these are the pieces of chip that we've gotten. That just sheared right off. This is really cool because you can see. Let's just zoom in on this one. You kind of see through the stone in parts. It's kind of translucent. It's really interesting. But this just sheared off. So I'm going to actually put these in the chip container with these chips. We'll set that aside for our chip projects. Okay, that's our Bloodstone chips. So here we have some pieces that are really huge, and we're going to keep them as polished freeform when we're done. So that's why we want to keep these as big as we can. And it has a lot of work, as you can see. It has a lot of work that it needs to have done in shaping and smoothing, and this surface is really super rough. So it has a lot of work that needs to be done. It's another one. Beautiful banding on that. Some beautiful coloring. Very nice. But a lot of work needs to be done to it still. And this one's kind of rough. It has all these pits. As a matter of fact, you can kind of see inside there. It's got a little grit. So those are big grit catchers. Really pretty coloring. Kind of looks like a snout of an animal. A little, the mouth, the nose, and the eye right here. Huh, I hope that stays. This piece is also really large, but I wouldn't call it a freeform. It might, with a little help, be able to become a palm stone. You know, once we get, you know, some more shaping done and get some more of the roughness taken off. Like this is all fracture right here from where this other stone broke off. You kind of see that. That all needs to be worked out. And then we found these three pieces, which are kind of interesting. It's kind of a red quartz, kind of, you know, it's part of the Bloodstone that's chipped off of bigger pieces. It's the quartz that grew in it, so it's really super cool. We found some chips over here. I put them over here, and we expected that because we have no ceramic media in this barrel, so it's all banging around each other, and it's in 60-90, and this is where the chippage should happen. I'll find that piece in a minute. Yeah. So we saved those for another project we have going. And then there's an interesting piece here where this is the host rock. And you see where the bloodstone is starting to come out of the host rock. I thought that was pretty cool. And here's another piece of the host rock. It's just interesting, you know, to see how this is starting to develop. And like this piece is just all pitted, where it's going to take a lot of work to get that out. A lot of tumbling action to get that pitting out. So it might become, wow. See, if I flat lap at that indent, to get to that indent, I'd lose, you know, a lot of mass, and there's not a lot here to begin with. So it might end up going to the garden for a garden stone project, which is, you know, rocks that we put in with our plants and, you know, outdoor garden features and whatnot. So it's like we don't throw them away if they're not pristine, but we have other uses for them. Wow, that's an interesting color. This has got some pitting. Yeah. So this obviously has a lot more work to do, you know, and none of it's ready to go to medium. This is close, except it's got, you know, work to do in here, and there was a chip. So I'm going to just go through and make sure that there's no, like this piece would be good for a flat lap machine, a flat lapidary machine, so that we can ground that off like we did with the blue lace agate and then save a lot of the stone. Yeah. But I don't want to do the grinding too early on in the process. I don't know. I don't know, sometimes I want to do it right away, sometimes I don't. Okay. But with it being frigid Michigan temperatures, and I don't want to do a whole lot more. I'm going to have to be outside. Okay, this is going to get recharged in the 6090 grit and run for another week, and we'll take a look at it and see how it's doing. Welcome to Crystal Wellness Studios. Today is Monday, the 15th of February, and we're starting with our barrel that's in our coarse grit 6090 silicone carbide, and it's our Bloodstone. So let's see how we're doing this week. When I was rinsing the stone, I did notice a chip, but I only noticed one. Not really sure where it came out of. Look at this great big piece. Isn't that pretty? They're still wet from the rinse. Still has some rough spots, so it's still going to need to be in 6090 for a while. We're going to start splitting this batch because some of this is ready to go to 120. Not that one. You see how it's got that edge? That needs to be polished out some more. Still a little too sharp to go into the 120. Looks like we're going to have a lot of interesting shapes. There's There's still a lot of rough spots. We did add ceramic media this past week. Because it's needed. Yeah, so far none of this is ready to move forward. I all have rough spots. This has got a lot of pitting. You can see that. Let's see here. Yeah, there's like a lot of damaged corners. Like the rest of the stone feels really good. And then we've got like this corner here that's all very rough to the touch. Huh. What's causing that? Yeah, there's still some work that needs to be done on these. I think next week we'll be able to pull a lot out for medium. I don't think it's going to be this week. Yeah, see, like this whole corner here is... That's very interesting. This entire corner is really rough. See that? And then you turn it and all these other ones are really super smooth. And it's almost like every single stone has one rough corner, and it's really bizarre. There's this big freeform piece here. Coming along really nicely. This I'm going to take out. It was part of the host rock, but I don't think the Mose is the right, and it seems to be causing damage, so I'm going to pull those couple of pieces out. There might be one more in here. Oh, that's really nice. Look at this corner. Oh, look at the pattern on that one. Wish all Bloodstone looked like that. The really nice pattern. There's another big freeform. Very colorful. This is really nice. That whole line, that whole fracture line is really rough. I think it can be smoothed down pretty easily. And it's got a little bit right there. It's hard to see when it's wet, but wet or dry, you can always feel the rough spots. So, beautiful African bloodstone. It's almost like some, whatever the red is in here. We've got a couple of nice specimen pieces of it. Gosh, that one feels ready for medium. Even this divot is nice and smooth. And of course, the ceramic media. That's all looking really good. I'd like to find that chip piece though. I did have a piece of chipped stone, not media. See, yeah, see, there's just so much this rough. Okay, well, we're going to look for that piece off camera, and we're going to inspect the rest of this lovely barrel. It's a 6-pound barrel, so there's a lot of it. It's lovely African bloodstone. It's moving along quite nice. Bloodstone, African bloodstone, has been running in 60, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. A little over 4 weeks. And I think it's going to need yet another. It's just gonna need some more time. There's a lot of sharpness to it still. I don't know, some of these might be ready for 120. But like this, the whole thing is pitted. I'm gonna flat lap that side. Save us some time. Yeah, still a lot of work that needs to be done. Still have a lot in the barrel to go through, but we want to keep these videos short. Yeah. So the African bloodstone, not unlike what we're doing to some of the quartzes, is as the barrels ran a week and we lost mass and we wanted to continue to use that same size barrel, we added more stone. That's what's happened with this as well. We've added a lot more stone off and on to this, to where I think we're running at about half full now. We don't have any more bloodstone to add to this, so this is just going to have to start moving to a smaller size barrel. We're going to recharge it and we're going to let it run one more week in 60-90. And next week we're going to make a decision on whether we're going to flat lap a lot of pieces or not and move it to 120. It's just, we had so many pieces. I would like to get them kind of all on the same page, so to speak. African bloodstone. It has been running in 60-90 coarse grit for 6 weeks. So what we need to do is figure out, there's a chip, if it's ready to move forward to 120. Now we left some of these pieces absolutely huge because we wanted some freeform pieces. And this still needs some work in shaping. God, it's really pretty colors. But it still needs some work. There's still a lot of rough in it. So we're going to put it back for more coarse work. Some of this is going to move forward. So let's see what we're going to do here. This has some surface that it still needs a little bit of work on. I wanted to leave some of these larger, but that's looking pretty good. I don't want to rush it. I think that still needs work. Now this has got a strange texture, which is very similar to the texture of the Serape Jasper that I want to put, that we had in 500, that I want to put back in 6090. So I think I'm going to add those to this barrel as well. This one's looking pretty good. I think this one can go to 120. Yeah, that one can go to 120. That corner's busted up, still needs some help. Almost ready for 120 other than this corner here. Any rough spots are going to stay. I mean, you know, like really bad, like that's pitted rough. And I can move forward. And I can move forward. It's just like not quite there. But it is getting close. So when we say we want it to be ready, we want, you see this rough edge? We want that rough edge gone. You know, this right in here. So a little bit of rough pieces here and there. We want it almost as smooth as can be before it goes to 120, and 120 does that finer adjustment. Before it goes to, oh, this is really cool. It's like you can, I don't know if you can see that. You can almost see like the quartz that's in there. You can almost see through that piece. That is really nifty. Still has a little slurry left on it. Almost. It's a lot that's almost ready to move forward. I'm thinking by next week we should have 90% of this barrel ready to move forward. Let's just see here. Oh, I think that can go to 120. Well, it's got this one spot. I think that's where that chip came from, right here. Wherever I misplaced that chip to. There it is. Looks like it came right out of that corner. Let's let that smooth down. This Bloodstone has a ton of natural curvature in it. A lot of, you know, crevices and whatnot that makes it a little bit harder. Like, see these valleys? Makes it harder to smooth. No, I love the pattern on this one. And that one's ready to move to 120. So we're not going to actually run a 120 Bloodstone this week. We're going to want the 6090 stuff to catch up. So we're just going to set it aside and it can wait. this is all ready to move forward to our 120, 220. And here we have our 6-pound barrel. And it's about a third of the way full. We could add more stone to it. Since it's going to be running in 60-90 for longer. We could start something new with it, or we could take our jaspers that are laying around waiting for more 60-90 run and add them into it. So it would be a repair barrel for the new stuff, and it would be just a continuation for the Bloodstone. And I think that's what we're going to do, because we want to get some stuff off our shelves here. Okay, we will be back with our next barrel in 60-90. And we're back with our last barrel in Coarse 60-90 silicone carbide grit. It has been running, this African Bloodstone has been running since January 24th. So we've got 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks running in this heavy grit. And it still needs a ton of shaping. A ton of shaping. Now the last 2 weeks, this has been running 1 day on, 1 day off, so it's really a weekish that it's had, because it's been splitting the tumbler with the rose quartz, because together they were too heavy to run on the same tumbler. The motor was just too much. So what we want to do is we want to take out whatever is ready to go to 120. And also because we wanted to be able to fill the barrel, we had added a lot of other things to it, like blue lace agate, polychrome, serape, zebra jasper, and then we had some quartzes, some healer quartz, amethyst, and smoky that we had also thrown in here. So it was a really overly full, overly heavy barrel. This is chrysoprase right here. That chrysoprase is definitely ready to run further. Okay, into another stage. I think it could probably go to 120. This Bloodstone is kind of not really there. We did find a chip. Just the one. The ceramic media all looked really good. But none of this is really... Oh, I take it back. This one's ready for 120. Except for right here. I just think that it could go... It just doesn't have that feel that I want for the 120. Kind of had a little mishap here in the shop, in the studio. My pegboard fell down with all my tools and stuff on it, right on top of me. So that was interesting. So we had to stop for that for a while and regroup. But it's all put back together and everything's fine. Nobody got hurt. That can go to 120. Yeah. Let's see here. I think that could go to 120. Yeah, I think this would have been further along had we not overburdened the barrel with so many different things, so that we could have run it consistently instead of 1 day on and 1 day off. That's close. almost looks like Kambaba. You know what? This is Kambaba. This is that piece that we had thrown in here that needed a repair. Because it had that chip, that it was in polish and it chipped. And this whole section where it chipped was rough. I think that can go to 120 now. And we have put it in this barrel for a repair. This is a natural valley. And I think that's okay. It doesn't look like it's catching anything, so we're going to put that in 120. We're going to be moving some barrels around today. That's definitely a 120. That's a 120. 120. Needs more work. $120. Okay, so for her African Bloodstone, this has to be run in 60/90 for yet another week. Okay, this is the one chip that we got, and then this is what can go to 120. And we're back with our African Bloodstone that has been running for 9 weeks in 60/90 silicone carbide coarse grit. So it's been running forever. We have been pulling pieces out that are ready for medium, and this week just a couple. I think there's only these. Oh gosh, you know, then you feel it again, and then you wonder, yeah, that's not ready. See, it has, I don't know, it needs just a teensiest bit more work. So I don't think anything really is ready to move to 120 this week. Yeah. Nope, nothing's ready to move to 120. So this whole barrel is going to stay, even the freeform is going to stay in 60/90 for yet another week. And I don't know why this is so darn hard and not moving forward. But I guess maybe if I would have broken it down. I don't know. It's going in again. We're going to run it another week. So nothing's ready for medium. It's a short video for Bloodstone this week. We're going to go through the ceramic media. We're going to get rid of anything that's breaking down. And we're going to run this, recharge the barrel for 60/90 yet again. Next week, we're going to have to make a decision if it's just going to be what it's going to be and it's never going to get that really nice feel that we want. There goes all that ceramic media. If it's just not going to get what we want, then it's just going to be some beat up stone. I don't know. I really am like a perfectionist with this stuff, and I want every stone to be perfect, but you know, sometimes it just isn't going to happen. So African Bloodstone, all this is happening off camera, of course. Let's adjust this. Give it a good shake. Recharge the barrel, and it's going to run again in 60/70 grit. Some things just run forever. All right, we'll be back with our rose quartz. And we're back with our African Bloodstone. It is in 60/90 coarse silicone carbide grit since like January 24th. And it's March 26th. So 2 months. We have a lot of broken ceramic media, as you can see here. So we're going to have to go through the media very carefully. Get rid of bad stuff. We left some really big pieces because we wanted them to be kind of free-form. And I don't think it's going to get any better. It has some issues with some erosion around here, and we're just going to deal with it. It's just going to move forward. More broken ceramic media. This stuff is really heavy, and it's really played hell with the tumblers. And again, there's a lot of this really rough feel, really rough texture. Let's see if I can dry that off. See that rough texture. Yeah, it's ready. I think this entire batch we're going to move forward because I'm tired of running it in 60-90 and I don't think it's doing it any good. I mean, it seems the smaller pieces, it's working really good on the smaller pieces. You know, they're coming along really nice. Just going to have to find a different way to tumble big, large pieces. Because I think that kind of screws with the batch. So we learned a lesson. And the big pieces just pulverizes the media. Yeah, I'm thinking that the 120 will smooth the surfaces out. I'm done with this Bloodstone. It's got to move forward. And that's it. I mean, we had a whole lot more mass, but it's been running for 2 months and this is all that's left. So yeah, you know, I may have pulled Bloodstone. Hang on, I did. There is more. This is all Bloodstone that's ready to move to 120, and we've been waiting for the 60-90 stuff to catch up. There's a lot more here than I really thought. Okay. Wash cycle. And then we're going to run all the stuff together to 120. So the stuff that's in this bag needs a wash cycle as well. So we're going to put it all back together. Instead of having split batch of the Bloodstone, it'll be all back to one batch. We're going to run it all in our 4.5 pound barrel and wash cycles and move it to 120. Alrighty, Bloodstone's finally moving forward. Okay, I'll be right back. And we're back with our Bloodstone. Our African Bloodstone had been split. The batches have been split quite a bit. So this is what we have left that's running in the 120, 220 silicone carbide. And to save time, I've really already looked at this off camera. I just want to pull some nice big pieces out here and show you. This is ready to move forward to 500 as well. This is a great big piece that we had for a free form. And there's no sharp edges. There's a little bit of roughness and pitting here, but we're never going to get that out without cutting the stone, and I don't want to do that. So we're just going to leave that as part of the natural free form. But the rest of these pieces are catching up and ready to go to 500. And because there's so much of the Bloodstone, I think we're going to do it in batches. Because our 6 pound barrel's not available. Yeah, these are looking beautiful. There's been no chippage. The ceramic media looks great. It's definitely ready to move forward. We had it running in coarse for a really long time, and then it's been in 120 about a week. This particular batch has. Ooh. Another great big piece. Yeah. These are such a dark green, they almost look black on the camera. Again, let's see if I can. There we are. Yeah, it's looking really good. Yeah, this African Bloodstone is finally willing to move forward. We're going to pop it in 500 so wash cycle it gets. Wow, we're doing really fast this week. Okay. There's a lot more in here, but we're not going to pull it all out. So, okay. African Bloodstone is moving forward. After only 1 week and 120. That's fantastic. We're back with our Bloodstone, African Bloodstone. It has been in medium coarse grit 12220 silicone carbide for 1 week. It still has some slurry on it, unfortunately. It is completely dry. Looks like it's coming off rather easy, so I'm happy about that. Let's just let it down here. There's a squeaky water bottle. We have this great big piece that we were just going to live with these fracture marks and this big pit because there's no way to really grind that down. But it is nice. Here's another great big piece. Wow. Let's see what we've got here. It's looking pretty good. It feels really smooth. That's a pretty awesome piece. That's perfect. That's ready to move forward. Most of this is feeling really smooth. And I'm not seeing chips in the barrel when I looked at it earlier. I think this is ready to move forward. I think we can move this to 1000. Yeah, I'm just going to do a really close inspection off camera because there's a lot of stone here. This is in our 4.5 pound barrel. Yeah, gosh, it's like glass smooth. I can't wait to see what it feels like after it's been in 1000. Woo! Yeah, this is, get all that slurry off. Give it a real good wash cycle, and we'll move it forward to 1,000. Nice, we've got a couple things moving forward. Okay, we'll be back with our next barrel. Bloodstone, African Bloodstone. Really nice. Okay. And we're back with our African Bloodstone, which has been in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish for 1 week. And let's take a look. Let's dry it off. See condition of these stones. Wow. It already has quite the shine. Polish is only going to make it better. When I inspected the ceramic media, I didn't find any chippage on these stones. So, or any broken pieces in the ceramic media, so I'm pretty happy about that. Wow, this has got quite the shine. These are going to be amazing next week. I do not believe they require another week in 1000. Huh. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now this large stone was an experiment. I have 2 in here. We wanted to see how they would do. Other than beating up the ceramic media and out pulverizing everything else, I really wouldn't do large stones with regular tumbles at this juncture. There's some I'm going to call it damage. There's damage that never came out in coarse, and it was in coarse forever. Medium, just refined it a little bit. This damage here, if I wanted to tumble that out, it would spend another couple of months in coarse, and we're not going to do that. These are just like free form. They're not really considered a tumbled rock. They're too large for that. But you see how all this pitting, and this is a different material, and that will never equal out the I think Bloodstone's a jasper. It's just a different stone, so it's always going to have a different feel to it. This pitting over here, if I took it to a flat lap, I don't know, it'd probably be easier to use a Dremel tool, to get that out. Or we can just have it an imperfect stone and love it the way it is. So I'm going to let this go all the way to polish. It's it's completely dry. So all the shine that you're seeing on it is from the 1000 pre-polish. I'm kind of blown away by the shine on it already. So after the actual polish, it's just going to be better. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, with this stone and this stone, which is also another, might get a little bit of water on that. Okay. Ceramic media. What I'm going to do with these 2 stones, as I am definitely going to let them go through, finish, go to polish, but I'm going to do another video on how to repair or improve previously polished stones, and these will be part of that. Like how, you know, different things that you can do with a stone, you know, hand polishing, you know, using a Dremel tool, using a flat lap, you know, things like that to kind of, you know, improve upon a stone. And that, so these will be featured in that video. This is really pretty. I really, really love the design and the colors and everything. Now I could have, in the beginning, when this was still in the rough stage before it went to coarse, you know, when it was just the stone, I could have cracked it and, you know, made it smaller. But I really liked it. I thought this was really cool, and I didn't really want to screw with it. But like for this up here, that I might, you know, just do a little flat lap. Things like this, where I would have to take off too much because it's a big divot, that I would Dremel tool. Anyway, that's on for another video. Let's look at the rest of this. This one got damaged. And that's probably from the large stones beating the hell out of it. See, there's a lot of undercutting that happened on this stone. So I think what I'm going to do is only put the perfect stones in polish, and I'm going to leave these two big ones out. I've changed my mind. That does not catch, so that's just a visual. Yeah, these are really amazing. This is a little tiny piece that broke off a long time ago, and we left it in, so it's kind of like almost like a guitar pick. It's pretty thin. It's really pretty. Even though we don't see the red in here, it's still African bloodstone. Just broke off a bigger piece. Wow. This is crazy. Crazy beautiful. I think here's some red in this one. And you can see it still has a little bit of a haze because the polish was just done with a rinse. It wasn't, you know, washed off. And it needs to go through polish. And this kind of hazy look will be gone. All you'll see is the deep green and the reds. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, we're trying to keep these videos shorter. I keep saying that in every video, and they're all over an hour. But it's because the stones are so pretty, and we're doing 12 barrels. Almost every week. Sometimes we only do 10 or whatever. It all depends on what's going on. This is quartz that is in with the jasper, the bloodstone. And it, you know, it broke off, and it was just part of it. So, cool beans. It's all the same Mohs hardness. Alright. These lovelies are ready for a wash cycle, and then it will go into polish, and we will see them next week all finished. Alrighty. African bloodstone. Beauty, beauty, beautiful. Okay. And we're back with our final barrel for this week. It is our polish barrel and holds our Bloodstone. So let's take a look. Wow. That's some thick foam. Whew. Okay. Set that aside. Let's see if we can move this without hitting the tripod. Okay. Wow, that's just sticking right to it, isn't it? Let's just rinse this off. Some little tap water here. Let's dry it. Moment of truth. There's a piece of our Bloodstone. And there's the shine. That's what we want to see. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Sorry about the noise. What you hear is all the barrels in the wash cycle. I think we got like 6 in wash this week. A lot of stuff moving forward. Or not for a week, but you know, wash stuff moves right now. Okay, we're happy as can be with this Bloodstone. It does not need another week in polish based on these couple of pieces here. I think 1 week is definitely enough. Woo. Can't get the slurry off. Pull out a little bigger piece here. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's still damp too. All my paper towels are wet. Okay. African Bloodstone. I'm going to call a success. We're getting a beautiful, beautiful shine. I'm gonna need to run this for burnish cycle for about, I'm gonna do it for a whole day. Doesn't look like this polish wants to come off anytime soon here. So I think a whole day is going to be, I mean, it's a Mohs hardness stone, a Mohs 7 hardness. So being in a burnish cycle for a full day is not going to damage it. And we want to get all the slurry out of all the nooks and crannies. And then we'll get some final finish photos. And we just freed up a 45C barrel, 4-pound barrel. So I think we can, I've got a lot of either, I think I got rose quartz. I can put the rose quartz back on because it's been on hold for a long time waiting for a barrel. So we'll pull our rose quartz back into the rotation. And we've got a bunch of barrels opened up after we've moved everything around this week. So we'll be able to start some new projects. Like we don't have enough going. Har har. We love new projects. Just lovely. Oh, I'm very happy with this. Okay, these videos get so long, I'm going to do the rest of this work off camera. And we're going to get all these stones rinsed off. Then we're going to clean the barrel really thoroughly. And we're going to put the ceramic media and these stones back in and run it for a burnish cycle for about a day. And then tomorrow I can get let it dry and get final photos. Okay, fantastic. You guys have a super week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Look at the shine on these Bloodstone. It's been about 18 hours in the burnish cycle. And now we're letting them air dry. Just stunning. Absolute success. Okay.